Hello, my cosmic friends. Welcome back to my channel, Just K-Pop Tarot. My name is Cosmos. Nice to meet you if you are new. If you're one of my subscribers, welcome back. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for 300 subscribers. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. To celebrate, I decided to have another Q&A. Last time you guys enjoyed the last one, so let's keep on doing it. I have all your questions right here. I put them in my little magic pot because it makes it more fun, and that way I get a variety of questions. Thank you for participating. Thank you for engaging with my channel, because you know it, with the constant changes in the algorithm, it's not enough to just subscribe to one channel. You actually have to interact with the channel, guys. So thank you to those that interact and pay attention to the things I post. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Now, if your question is not here, either you did not follow the rules, because this time I have a lot of people that did not follow the rules. The rules I put there are there for, well, to protect my channel, guys. To protect my channel. So that could be it. Or simply my intuition told me, don't mess with that. Okay? Once again, I have to protect myself because, well, the algorithm gods, they're not always in the best of moods. So, yeah. You know what? We'll start off with that one and move on from there. Let's see. All right. First question. Okay. Will the newer staff treat TXT better? Okay, let's find out. TXT stands for Tomorrow by Together. So let's see. Will the newer staff treat you guys better? Will they? Okay, that one. That one came floating out. And those. Okay, this one too. Let's see. Little fun fact, my first K-pop concert was actually TXT. So they hold a special place in my heart. Let's see, we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. This one came out in reverse. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Five of Swords. Okay. We have the Three of Wands. For the most part, I'm going to say yes. And we have the King of Wands. For the most part, yes. But, in any workplace, there's always that one a-hole that just has to be mean for some reason, no? So there will be a couple of a-holes in here. But for the most part, they are going to be nice to TXT, okay? They will give them the respect TXT deserve. But yeah, once in a while, there will be that one a-hole that either they don't care. And, being there is just a job. They don't care. Even though at the end of the day, their paychecks come from not just TXT, but all of the groups under the Hive umbrella, right? But it looks like as well, there's going to be those that are going to say, hey, cut it out. They deserve respect. So for the most part, I would say yes. Okay. Okay, next one. What does Maki of N-Team think of being shipped with his fellow member Harua? Okay, Maki. Let me use this one. How do you feel? What do you think when people are shipping you with your with your member here? Let's see. Okay, the Six of Swords, and I just heard move on. I just heard that. Move on. Interesting. The Knight of Cups. The Queen of Cups. And the Page of Swords. Okay. He understands that, well, it's fun, no? It's fun to imagine people being together and stuff like that. But at the same time, he feels that people need to come back to reality. especially those that fight, that claim that, you know, this ship is real. That's when he says, you people need to move on because you're acting crazy. And for the record, no, I don't see anything happen between these two people. But he understands that, you know, some people do it for fun. So there are times he's a little bit amused, but whenever people take it too far, that's when he's like, okay, shut up. Shut up and move on. Okay. Next one. This one. Okay, on January 13 is the verdict date of ADOR versus Shinwoo-sok company's Dolphers films. Who will win? Okay, ADOR or Shinwoo-sok? Okay, let me use this one. Who will win? Oh, okay. These two flipped over. Oh my gosh, I'm stumbling over my words today. I almost say bleep over. Let's see. We have Mercy. We have Mischief. We have the Lunar Dragon. And we had the Wounded Dragon. It looks like ADOR will win. Looks like ADOR will win. It looks like ADOR here with Mercy. They're at a point where they are done being merciful. And also, I hear somebody saying, see, Min Hee-jin? See what happens? So, yeah, I see ADOR winning. Okay. Yeah, and I know Min Hee-jin has a lot of lawsuits going on, right? But it looks like that victory is gonna, well, besides, you know, the victory with them against New Jeans, it looks like each victory, ADOR is going to use that as an example to Min Hee-jin to show her what happens. Excuse me, when you mess with ADOR. Okay, next question. When trainees become idols, what culture shock do they get after being an idol? Okay. Let me use this one. What is a culture shock that these trainees got when becoming idols? Okay, I just heard the hate. I just heard that, and I know that may not be considered a culture shock, but the hate, how ruthless some people can be. We have the Three of Swords. Yeah, once again, how ruthless the hate can be. And you know what? I'm seeing China. I'm seeing China in South Korea too. Of course, you know, there's crazy psychos everywhere, right? But I'll be honest, the most bad things I have heard when it comes to fans has come from China or South Korea themselves. So yeah, one thing is seeing what happens to other idols and experiencing it. So that is something that has been shocking. We had the Two of Cups. It looks like another thing that shocks them is to see how open other idols from other countries are when it comes to their own relationships. And I see people kissing, like when they see people kissing in public in front of the cameras, it looks like that's a culture shock. I know that in some countries, you know, oh, that's, oh, so scandalous, even when you're married, right, to hold hands, to kiss your partner, but, oh, well, to each their own. Okay, there we have Justice. It looks as well that the justice system from other countries, compared to South Korea, it looks like that shocks them. One thing that is surprising is that, you know, well, when it comes to some criminal cases, in other countries, you get 30 years versus South Korea, you get 3, but in reality, you only serve like 1.5 years and then you are released. So that's another thing that's shocking. Okay, we had the Moon. And we have the Three of Pentacles. it looks like also another thing that is surprising is that in some countries, you know, well, outside of Korea, we call them artists, right? But they say idols, so that's why I keep using idols. Some idols, well, they say the F word. They say the F word and other, variations of bad words in front of, everybody, in front of cameras or at concerts. And it's a shock that, the public is like, yeah, woo, people cheering. To them, it's a big, oh my God, they're cussing. But, to some people, that's normal. Interesting question. Thank you. Okay. Next one. Okay, we have overall performance of aespa, Hearts to Hearts, and NCT Dream. Well, okay. Not gonna lie, I was not gonna do that question, but the higher powers told me to do it anyway. Because one rule I did say is don't ask me about more than one thing at once, but okay. That's the only reason that question is still there. Let's see, for aespa. We have the Five of Pentacles. Recently, it looks like, there's this big hate train on aespa. For some reason or another. Whether it's one of them in particular or the whole group. It looks like that's going to continue. But you know what? aespa's not flopping anytime soon, no matter how much these haters would love to see them flop. We have the High Priestess. Yeah, these ladies, number one, they already have a lot of influence. That young lady, Ian, it looks like SM is going to keep pushing her to replace Karina. But, yeah, that's not going to work. Or at least not with the current fans, Tarot works with current energy. But also these four ladies, their faith in the higher powers, whoever that is very big. So yeah, no. It's a combination of the hard work and their faith. So they're not flopping anytime soon. Now Hearts to Hearts. We have the Five of Cups. And we have the Four of Cups. I keep hearing cheap imitation. I mean, there's comparisons always, right? Always. But it looks like some people are going to be saying, oh, they're a cheap imitation of aespa or Red Velvet. In spite of all of that, though, it looks like they're still going to have some opportunities. However, I do not see them exploding in popularity in 2026. So yeah, they still have a long way to go to have, that moment of explosiveness. And what was the next one? NCT Dream. Okay, let me take this one. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Three of Cups. So it looks like overall it's going to be good. Mostly in Asia, though. Now, I don't see them flopping on the West, anything like that. But if you were to compare how it went in Asia versus the West, it looks like in Asia, it was more profitable for them than here in the West. But like I said, I would not call them a flop here in the West. Nowadays, if you don't make it like BTS or Blackpink, people think that you're a flop, but no. Okay? Okay. Next. Will Ian of Hearts to Hearts be recognized as the 5th Gen It girl? Let's find out. Ian of Hearts to Hearts, will you be recognized as 5th Gen's It group? I mean, that group girl. We have the Ten of Swords Okay. We have the King of Cups. SM is definitely gonna push her to, you know, be the it girl. We have the Five of Swords. And we have the Four of Pentacles. No. Based on current energy, the answer is no. And I keep hearing Karina 2.0, Karina 2.0. So once again, there's always gonna be comparisons, right? But it looks like a lot of people, they're gonna be calling her Karina 2.0. The imitation of Karina. And especially now, recently that, you know, she did the cover of Karina's solo. Yeah, it doesn't look like she will be recognized as the it girl of 5th gen for the moment, right? Energies constantly change, so we will see. Okay, next one. Okay, on what date do the NCT Dream members' contracts with SM expire approximately? They debuted back on August 25, 2016. Dang, they've been around for a while, huh? Let's see. Approximately, when are these contracts going to expire? We have the Ten of Swords, okay. Queen of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords. And we have a Moon. Well, these 10 years have been long years, okay? And I know that wasn't the question, but that's what I'm feeling. And some of them feel that, by now SM should be paying them better. Approximately 2030, if not, you know, the final months of 2029. So yeah, somewhere along there, the final months of 2029, if not 2030. Okay, next one. Okay. What 3 5th gen groups will receive the most attention in 2026? Okay, the most attention in 2026. Let's see. What 3 5th gen groups? Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles. We had a Fool card. Page of Pentacles. And we had the King of Cups. I am picking up on Kickflip, Hearts to Hearts, and Eyelet. Kiki might be in 4th place, I would say. I'm also picking up on them. With Hearts to Hearts, though, it doesn't seem like it's a lot of positive attention, honestly. Because once again, you know, SM trying to push out one rookie, and I am not hating on this young lady, don't get me wrong. But, you know, them pushing her out with imitation of somebody else, that's not good. Instead of, you know, giving her an individual solo, for example. If you want to push her out that much, okay, give her an individual solo. That will be better than her, you know, doing covers of other previous idols. Not just Karina in particular, you know, but other groups and stuff like that, okay? Best of luck to the groups. Next question. On the big four companies, which groups do they see as rival groups? That's the way it was written, okay? On the big four companies, which groups do they see as rival groups? Okay. So companies, which groups do you see as rival groups? Let's see. That one. And this one is the Two of Cups, but it came out in reverse. The big four, you know what? I'm picking up on Stray Kids. We had the Tower. We have BTS. The Hermit. I'm seeing aespa as well. Judgment. Okay, this one, depending on who you ask, some might say Blackpink. Some. Like a 25% of people say, Blackpink. And we had the Devil card. Any other, those are saying, nah, not Blackpink. Big Four, Hive. Yeah, that's BTS. JYP, that's Stray Kids. SM, that will be aespa. YG, Blackpink. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got all four. The big four. Okay. Yeah, just making sure. I got the big four. Okay, next question. Will Seunghan rejoin RIIZE? No. The answer is no. And I know, I didn't shuffle, but immediately I saw Seunghan shaking his head no. In fact, I see and I hear Seunghan saying that was hell. That whole injustice thing that happened against him, that was hell. The, 2 days or 3 days that he was back? That was hell on earth for him. Not worth it. And you know what? I hear Seunghan also saying, I'd rather be a flop by myself than be in that hellhole. Now, the members of RIIZE, they will be happy for the most part. But other than that, no. Seunghan is saying, hell no. Let's see. What else? The Knight of Cups. He has moved on. And I mean, Seunghan already debuted as a soloist, no? But Seunghan has moved on. RIIZE has moved on as well. We had the Wheel of Fortune. And oh, look at that. The Knight of Cups. He is going one direction. And this figure is going towards the Wheel of Fortune in another direction. So, yes. Both have moved on, trying to, find success in different directions. The Six of Cups. Is it nice to be part of a group? Yes, it is. They train together, they study together, It was nice. And we had the Empress. But Seunghan is saying clearly SM, well, they cater to the psychopaths, to the obsessive fans. And mostly to the obsessive fans of South Korea, right? And China. Seunghan feels like, you know what, maybe in South Korea, I can have some type of success because they are fans of Seunghan in South Korea, right? They are those that feel what happened to him was terrible and unfair. But Seunghan also feels like, you know what, yes, I can have some type of success in South Korea, but I could possibly have more success outside of it, so no. The answer is no. And Seunghan sure as hell doesn't want to go back. What do you guys think? Should he come back? In my opinion, nah. He's better off by himself. Okay, next one. What does SM think of a half? Okay. SM, what are we thinking about a half? Do I have that deck? Give me 1 second. I don't have that deck in here. Hold on a moment. You might hear some static. Hold on. I'll be back. thing. I have all the decks I'm gonna need, right? But then it turns out that I need one that I don't have. Okay, hold on. My microphone is the old-fashioned one that you clip on. It's not, you know, the Bluetooth fancier ones. Okay. SM. What do we think about a half? What do we think about these gentlemen? Okay. Okay, SM feels that they have very good vocals. They have very good vocals. As of right now, a half's concept is, you know, very dreamy. It's very slow, right? It's not the typical hip-hop rap heavy that we see with boy groups. So, you know, they feel that they have great vocals. The Knight of Wands, there's potential with them. The Magician. You know, some people at SM feel that it's almost a shame that they come from a small company. Because if they came from a big company, they would be a lot bigger. But at the same time, they are a potential threat. I mean, after all big companies, they start from somewhere. They don't just become big out of nowhere. So they're a potential threat. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, potential threat. The Eight of Pentacles. They are more profitable than what they were expecting. And the Ace of Swords. Good range. Good range, and I see a map. So, you know, not just from Asia, but from the West, they like them. So that's why they feel that a half has good range. But yeah, once again, they're more profitable than what they thought they were going to be. At this point, I feel like we have survival shows everywhere, right? SM feels the same way, that, oh, we have a survival show almost, if not every month, almost every year. So, you know, some people, they're tired of survival shows. Some people still like them. So yeah, they are surprised that they are as profitable as they are. And I'll just leave that deck here in case I need it. And let's see, how long? Okay, I've been filming for a while now. I'm gonna pick the last 3 questions and then we'll have another part 2. I think I have answered a pretty good amount in comparison to how it looked before. So let's see. I'll take this one, and this one. There we go. Yeah. And if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. Consider liking, subscribing, interact with the channel, guys. That is how you get notified. And make sure, if you already subscribed, make sure that you're still subscribed, because I don't know why, but sometimes YouTube does that. You hit subscribe, but then after a while, they unsubscribe you. I don't know why. So yeah, make sure, okay? Okay. Let's see. This question says, will Baby Monster ever receive a day song in the 7 years of their contract? Let's see. Let me use this one. Baby Monster, will you receive a day song in your 7-year contract? The question was about Baby Monster, but I am seeing All Day Project. And remember, I think it was a day song. I could be wrong. I don't follow All Day Project, okay? But it was a prestigious award, and everybody looked at Annie and stuff like that. And you know how they were saying that because of her nipple background and stuff like that, that's how they got the award. Interesting. Let's keep looking. We have Serendipity. Okay. We have A Loyal Heart. And that's just her loyal fandom, okay? Mending. And Poised. Based on current energy, I would say there's a 70 to 75% no. That they won't. 70 to 75% no. But it looks like All Day Project might get another one by the looks of it. if they don't have a day song already. Once again, I don't remember the name of that award, but you know, yeah. That's what I see based on current energy. Okay. Best of luck, ladies. Best of luck. Let's see, next one. It says, on January 16, who will win the final verdict? Source Music versus Min Hee-jin. Let's see who's gonna win on January 16. Source Music or Min Hee-jin? Yeah. That one, and I just heard shuffle again, so let's shuffle again. Source Music versus Min Hee-jin. Let's see. We have the World card, okay. The 9 of Wands. I mean, there's a lot of people watching, no? Not just people in South Korea, but a lot of people are watching. The Chariot. The 4 of Pentacles, okay. And the 4 of Wands. Interesting attitude, Min Hee-jin. Very interesting. Okay. The 4 of Wands. I forgot to show you. Here it is. The 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is a celebration. Okay. Sometimes it can be a literal party or, you know, something positive. Now, technically, Min Hee-jin lost. Why am I saying technically? Because I don't see her angry. It looks like she will have to pay a fine, but it was like less than whatever, you know, she was expecting to pay. And here with the Chariot, well, the Chariot is movement, right? It can be from literally one place to another or from one situation to something better. Or sometimes if it comes out in reverse, it can be from one place to something worse. But it came out right side up. So technically, Min Hee-jin is not winning. She will lose. But her attitude is like the attitude of a winner. So it looks like she's happy that, okay, it's over. Whatever. We can move forward. And sure, I'll pay the fine. To her, it's like no big deal. I also hear no jail time. Like I said, Min Hee-jin has so many lawsuits at this point. It's hard to keep up with anything these days when it comes to her. But yeah, she will lose, but her attitude is like the attitude of a winner. Well, I guess you gotta delude yourself into winning, right? With the amount of lawsuits she has and all the mess that was created. I guess it makes sense, no? I guess. I don't live inside her head, so I don't know. Okay. And last but definitely not least, the question is, what are ISNA's chances of gaining even more popularity in 2026? ISNA, let's see. What are the chances of you ladies gaining more popularity in 2026? Okay. We have the 6 of Wands. Okay. The 7 of Wands. And we have the High Priestess. Okay, this is going to be a big range, but yeah, this is what I see. 50? I'm sorry, not 50. Oh my God. Do I know my numbers? I'm sorry, guys. 15. 1, 5, 15. I'm sorry. 15. I have said it before. English is my second language, so my brain can scatter sometimes. But 1, 5, that's what I see. 1, 5, 15% to 60. 60%. For some reason, also here in April, I see it going down to like 55%. Very interesting. It could be because, well, some fans, you know, they're still getting used to the new ISNA lineup. And it looks like there will be also some like internal problems with their label. We may find out about that, but it looks like, you know, also internal problems are going to be happening around April. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that is all for this part. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for 300 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. If you are subscribed, once again, double check that you're still subscribed. I don't know why YouTube started doing that, but, you know, sometimes you get unsubscribed. And also, well, pay attention to the posts that I make, guys. That's how you will find out about, you know, future things going on in the channel. All right, guys. Have a great 2026, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.